The hall was quiet. Hundreds of young aliens, all with sharp, glowing eyes and armored skin, waited in silence. At the front, a single figure limped forward. He was tall, his body covered in scars, and cybernetic implants glinted under the dim lights. This was Varkon, a veteran of countless wars. His name alone demanded respect, but today, Varkon was not here to boast about alien victories. Today, he was here to tell a story about humans, a species the galaxy often underestimated, the audience murmured. Humans? They were small, fragile, and primitive compared to most alien species. Yet Varkon's voice, deep and rough, carried authority. They fight differently, he began. They fight with something we rarely understand. Courage, creativity, and a will that does not break. I have seen them defy what we thought impossible. A hush fell. The young aliens leaned forward, curious despite themselves. The first encounter, Varkon's mind drifted back to the first human battle he witnessed. It was on a planet called Terra Nova, a mining world rich in rare minerals. The humans there were miners, farmers, ordinary people by their own reckoning. But when the alien army arrived, ready to seize the planet, these ordinary humans became something extraordinary. The first wave of alien ships descended on the mining colony. Laser cannons fired, and explosions shook the ground. Most alien observers expected humans to panic, to flee. Instead, humans organized quickly. Elara, a young human strategist, ran through the colony issuing orders. She wasn't large or strong, but her mind was sharp. She positioned miners as lookouts, repurposed mining drills as weapons, and rigged traps in tunnels. The aliens were confident in their superior technology, but humans were unpredictable. When the first alien units marched into the tunnels, they were met with pits, swinging chains, and sudden explosions. Panic spread through the alien troops. The humans didn't just fight, they used the enemy's expectations against them. Varkon watched in amazement. Even the most experienced alien soldiers hesitated. Clever, he muttered to himself. These humans, they see the world differently. Ilara's decoy. The climax of the battle came when the aliens tried to destroy the colony's central power plant. It was heavily guarded, and their lasers could obliterate it in minutes. Humans seemed cornered. But Ilara had a plan. She led a small team to set up a decoy power core in a hidden cavern. Then she sent signals to the aliens, tricking them into attacking the decoy. When the alien fleet fired, they destroyed nothing of value. Meanwhile, the real power plant remained intact. The humans launched a counterattack. Using simple weapons and ingenious traps, they forced the aliens to retreat. Every step, every tactic, was unexpected. Varkon realized something important. Humans weren't stronger in weapons or numbers, they were stronger in thought, imagination, and daring. The alien reaction. After the battle, Varkon returned to his own forces, but he could not stop thinking about the humans. They were not the strongest physically, nor the most technologically advanced. Yet they had won. The victory was not just tactical, it was moral. Humans fought not just to survive, but to protect their homes, their families, and their way of life. In the hall, Varkon paused. His audience was silent, hanging on every word. Some young aliens whispered, "Could it be true? Could humans really be that dangerous?" A lesson in courage, Varkon continued. He described another moment from the same war. A human medic, barely trained for combat, ran into a battlefield under heavy fire to save wounded soldiers. She ignored the lasers, the explosions, even the orders to retreat. By the time she returned, she had carried 3 of her comrades to safety. The aliens in the audience gasped. Such bravery was rare among their own kind. Most species fought for power or strategy, not for others. Humans fought because they valued each other, even at great risk to themselves. Varkon smiled faintly. He could still remember the pride in the human's eyes. That simple, fearless act had changed the course of a skirmish. It was not strength alone that made humans dangerous, it was their heart and mind working together. The battle for Terra Nova. The humans of Terra Nova did not stop there. Alien forces returned, larger and better equipped. They thought the first defeat had been a fluke. But the humans adapted. Ilara studied the alien tactics, learning how they predicted human movements. She developed countermeasures. Humans laid ambushes in narrow valleys, used smoke and mirrors to confuse enemy sensors, and coordinated strikes from multiple directions. Even the most disciplined alien units found themselves trapped in unexpected attacks. Varkon described the chaos with vivid detail. Explosions shaking the mountains, human squads appearing from nowhere, alien commanders shouting orders that were already too late. The humans did not panic. They were not afraid of death, they were afraid of failing each other. By the end of the campaign, the humans had defended their planet. Alien forces retreated, shocked and humbled. Varkon's reflection. Varkon paused again in the hall. He looked at the young aliens and said, "Do you understand now? Humans are not just a species. They are a force of nature. They improvise, they endure, and they never give up, no matter how hopeless the battle seems." He could see the young aliens thinking. Many had never fought humans. Many had never seen such raw courage. Yet the stories Varkon told made them wonder. If we meet humans in a real war, what will happen? Varkon continued. He spoke of small victories, of courage under fire, of humans taking impossible risks. He did not need to exaggerate. The humans' actions were already incredible. Even an experienced alien warrior like Varkon found himself humbled. Humans fought differently. They relied not on fear or intimidation, but on ingenuity, teamwork, and an unbreakable spirit. They turned disadvantages into advantages and weaknesses into strengths. The hall was quieter than before. Young aliens still whispered about the stories from Terra Nova. Varkon stood at the front, his mechanical eye glowing faintly. "Today," he began, "I will tell you how humans face even greater challenges. Battles that seem impossible, yet they find a way to survive, and even triumph." The audience leaned forward. The first part of his story had shaken many of them. Could humans really be that clever and fearless? The war beyond worlds. Varkon recalled a vast war that spanned entire star systems. Humans were now part of a coalition against a powerful alien alliance, one that outnumbered them 10-1. Their fleets were smaller, their weapons older, but their minds were sharp. Humans did not panic. Instead, they studied the enemy, learning how they moved, how they attacked, and what weaknesses they had. Captain Jonas Rell commanded a human fleet. Jonas was young, but his calm thinking and quick decisions made him legendary. He gathered his officers in the war room. A small ship orbiting a neutral planet. "We are outnumbered," he said, "but we are not defeated. We will use what they do not expect. Every move must surprise them." Varkon watched this battle from orbit as an observer. The humans' courage impressed him, but what amazed him more was their ability to adapt. The first ambush. The alien fleet approached a narrow asteroid field. Their sensors were strong, and they believed humans would attack head-on. But Jonas had other plans. Humans transformed cargo ships into stealth fighters. They added hidden weapons and cloaking devices. Small teams hid among asteroids, waiting. When the alien ships entered the field, the humans struck. Lasers fired from hidden angles. Explosions rocked the massive vessels. The aliens had expected a simple attack, not a maze of ambushes. Chaos erupted. Alien commanders shouted orders that came too late. Ships collided with asteroids. Humans moved in coordinated precision, hitting hard where the enemy was weakest. Varkon made a note. These humans do not fight like any other species. They use strategy, cunning, and boldness together. They think differently. They think creatively. A desperate mission. The war was far from over. The aliens had built a massive weapon platform, capable of destroying entire human colonies. The platform floated above a barren planet, heavily guarded by ships, drones, and automated defenses. Jonas volunteered for a dangerous mission. He would lead a small strike team to disable the weapon from within. The plan seemed impossible. If they failed, not just the team, but entire human colonies could be destroyed. Varkon observed the mission closely. Humans piloted their ships through asteroid storms, dodging lasers, magnetic fields, and alien patrols. Every move was calculated. Every decision mattered. The team landed on the platform. Fighting was brutal. Drones attacked without mercy, and alien soldiers defended the corridors. Jonas and his team worked together, using tactics Varkon had never seen. They used their small size to move unseen, their speed to outmaneuver stronger enemies, and their intelligence to hack alien systems. Courage under fire. One moment stood out in Varkon's memory. A young human soldier, barely trained for combat, ran into a corridor filled with alien drones to save a wounded comrade. Varkon, even watching from outside, felt a rare emotion: awe. Humans valued each other more than victory or even their own lives. They fought to protect one another. That strength, the courage to risk everything for someone else, was something few alien species could understand. Jonas reached the control core of the weapon. It was massive and complex, but he didn't panic. He and his team worked together, bypassing security, using ingenuity and improvisation. Within hours, they had disabled the platform. The aliens were stunned. A few small human ships had infiltrated the strongest defenses in the galaxy and succeeded. The human spirit, Varkon reflected. Humans were never the strongest in numbers. They were never the most advanced technologically, but they had something far greater, a spirit that refused to surrender. He told the audience about another human trick. They created fake ships, holograms, and even sound decoys to mislead the enemy. They made aliens waste resources chasing shadows, while the real humans struck at vital points. Every battle was a lesson. Varkon had fought many wars, yet he had never seen such intelligence applied with such daring. Humans combined mind and courage, never relying on sheer force alone. The turning point. The alien alliance expected humans to collapse after repeated attacks. But humans never gave up. Jonas led a daring fleet strike against a massive alien command ship. It was surrounded by shields and fighters, nearly invincible. Jonas studied the ship's patterns. He found weaknesses in its patrol routes and energy cycles. Humans attacked in perfect timing, striking multiple points simultaneously. Alien ships fell one by one. The command ship was crippled, and the alliance was forced to retreat. Varkon noted the amazement of alien officers. How could such small forces do this? They asked. Varkon smiled. They are human, he said quietly. Respect earned. Back on Terra Nova, humans celebrated, but not arrogantly. They mourned their losses, honored the brave, and prepared for the next challenge. Varkon realized that humans do not fight for fame or honor alone. They fight because they believe in each other, in their homes, and in life itself. The young aliens in the hall were silent. They had heard stories of alien victories, advanced technology, and great empires, but nothing impressed them more than the humans' courage, intelligence, and teamwork. Varkon continued, describing smaller human victories, rescuing civilians, defending colonies, and taking impossible risks. Every story made the aliens' respect for humans grow. The unpredictable enemy. Varkon emphasized a lesson that many aliens ignored. Humans are unpredictable. They do not follow expected patterns. They invent new tactics on the spot. They adapt to changing conditions faster than most species could imagine. He told them about a raid where humans used volcanic eruptions and magnetic storms as weapons. They turned natural disasters into strategic advantages, confusing and defeating superior alien forces. Varkon's voice grew serious. Underestimating humans is the greatest mistake any species can make. They do not fight like us. They fight with courage, intelligence, and creativity, and that makes them unstoppable in ways we cannot easily understand. The hall was silent once more. Varkon, the battle-scarred alien veteran, looked at the young recruits before him. Their eyes were wide with curiosity and awe. He could see it in their expressions. They now understood that humans were unlike any other species they had faced. This, Varkan began, is the story of the ultimate test. A challenge that no one expected humans to survive, and yet, they did. It is the story of their spirit, their courage, and their unbreakable will. The audience leaned forward. They had already heard tales of human victories on Terra Nova and clever ambushes across the stars. But now, Varkan's voice grew heavier with meaning, hinting at a war that could destroy worlds. The superweapon threat. A new alien superweapon had been built, a massive orbital platform capable of obliterating entire human colonies in a single strike. Its power was unmatched. Its defenses were nearly impenetrable. Many alien leaders believed that humanity would be extinguished without effort, but humans refused to surrender. Captain Jonas Rell, now seasoned from countless battles, studied the superweapon. He called his officers together aboard the human flagship. "We are outmatched," he said, "but not defeated. They have technology. We have something they do not: unpredictability, courage, and our willingness to act when hope seems impossible. If we fight with our minds, our hearts, and our courage, we can win." Varkan, observing from a nearby system, marveled at human confidence. No other species he had seen would dare approach a weapon of this scale with such boldness. Planning the attack. The humans devised a complex plan. They would split their forces, distracting the alien fleet, while a small, specialized team infiltrated the superweapon. Jonas's strategy relied on timing, coordination, and improvisation. Humans prepared decoy ships, holographic signals, and modified vessels to slip past sensors. They trained tirelessly, practicing maneuvers that seemed impossible. Varkan watched each step of preparation. Every human decision was calculated, yet flexible. If one plan failed, they could immediately adapt. That was the essence of human warfare: innovation under pressure. The infiltration. The day of the attack arrived. Human ships moved silently through asteroid fields and magnetic storms, avoiding detection. Small teams boarded the superweapon, bypassing security drones and alien soldiers. Inside, the corridors were deadly. Automated defenses fired relentlessly. Alien guards moved with precision. Yet humans advanced with determination. Every soldier understood the stakes. Every action mattered. One human engineer, Lyra, spotted a critical energy conduit. Without hesitation, she risked her life to manually disable the system. Lasers cut past her shoulders, but she pressed on. Varkan, even observing remotely, felt a surge of admiration. Humans fought not only with skill, but with unshakable determination. Unseen allies. Varkan recalled a moment that proved humans could see opportunities in unexpected ways. As the infiltration continued, natural phenomena played a role. A volcanic eruption on the planet below created a magnetic storm. Humans used it to mask their energy signatures, slipping past alien sensors undetected. Another squad deployed decoy drones, mimicking human vessels while the real team struck at the superweapon's critical points. The aliens were confused, firing at shadows while real attacks breached their defenses. Humans turned their environment into a weapon. They transformed disadvantages into advantages. Varkan realized this was a trait almost unique to humans: their ability to adapt creatively to anything. Personal courage. Varkan's eyes focused on a single event inside the superweapon. A young soldier, barely trained for combat, risked his life to save a human scientist caught in a corridor under heavy fire. He lifted her over obstacles, dodged lasers, and carried her to safety. This act was small in the scope of the battle, yet enormous in its significance. Humans cared for each other. They were not driven only by duty or fear. They were driven by compassion, loyalty, and the desire to protect their own. Varkan made a mental note. "No alien species I know of fights with this combination of courage and heart," he said quietly. "It makes them truly dangerous." disabling the superweapon. The strike teams reached the core of the superweapon. Massive energy reactors pulsed with destructive force. Humans worked together, analyzing schematics, bypassing security, and coordinating attacks from multiple angles. Jonas himself led the final effort. He initiated a controlled overload, carefully timing each step. Explosions rocked the structure, and alarms blared. Alien forces tried to stop them, but it was too late. In a brilliant display of timing, courage, and intelligence, the humans disabled the superweapon. The aliens were forced to retreat, stunned by the audacity and effectiveness of the human assault. Varkan watched silently, remembering how even the most seasoned alien commanders could not predict the human approach. The aftermath. The humans returned home, victorious but solemn. Many lives had been lost. They honored the fallen, celebrated their survival, and immediately prepared for the challenges to come. Varkan reflected on what made humans remarkable. They were not invincible. They could be hurt. They could fail. But they never gave up. Even against a weapon that could destroy worlds, they adapted, fought, and succeeded. In the alien hall, Varkan paused. The young recruits were listening intently. They were learning the truth. Humans were unlike any other species. They were a force, defined not by numbers or machines, but by mind, heart, and spirit. Human values. Varkan told the audience about smaller, quieter moments. Humans helping civilians during battles, rescuing prisoners, and defending the weak. These acts were not strategic. They were moral. Humans fought because they believed in justice, honor, and the value of life. This moral courage made them even more formidable. Aliens could predict tactics and numbers, but humans could not be predicted when guided by principles stronger than fear. The young aliens listened, wide-eyed. They had never imagined that courage, creativity, and compassion could combine to create such unstoppable force. The legacy of humanity. Varkan stood silently at the hall's center. He could see that his audience was changed. Where there had been doubt, now there was respect. Where there had been curiosity, now there was admiration. Humans, he said finally, are not the strongest in technology. They are not the largest in fleets, but they are the strongest in ways that matter most: mind, heart, and courage. Underestimate them, and you will regret it. He let the words sink in. The aliens left the hall in thoughtful silence. They would speak of humans differently now. They would remember that no matter the odds, humans would fight, adapt, and endure. Varkan leaned back, his mechanical eye dimming. He had told the story of humanity's greatest battles, their cleverest victories, and their bravest moments. But he knew the story would continue. Humans would face more challenges, and each time, they would rise. And in the galaxy, one truth remained clear: humanity's spirit could never be broken.